everybody. Hang on. All right, got that out of that way. Let me move this up here. I have borrowing my husband's computer. Had a big, not we, but I helped a friend with a big virtual retreat this weekend, and I needed 2 computers. So we're here. This. Hi, Carol. Hi, Jeannie. Whew. It is Monday all day long, right? Hope you're doing good. Hello, I am Brenda Sellers, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. We had snow, 4 to 6 inches. It depends on where you stuck the device to measure. Anyway, there's a few things happening. Right now, today is the last day to purchase $50 of product and get a $5 coupon code. That may be yesterday. Let me check 1 second. I should have already known that. Ooh, let's see. Product of the month is coming up. Oh, yes. Today is the last day. Buy $50 worth or $50 increments and get $5 of product. Back up, Brenda. Today is the last day to purchase $50 of product and get a $5 coupon code to use till the end of February. So, and then also on February, told you, different device. I know that February has a join special. That starts tomorrow. So anyone that wants to join Stampin' Up! On anyone's team, of course, we would love it if you would join our team. You get the stamp positioner. Whoopsie, that doesn't stay on. You get the stamp positioner. So, and you choose $125 worth of product, and that's included. I will tell you that the grid paper with that is not included. So if you want that, make that part of your first order. All right. You came to see me make things, not talk a lot, right? So let me share my screen. We're going to use some, I have a lot of designer series paper already cut, but we're going to make some layers and we're going to play with a new to me stamp set. And we may even use this. We'll see. All right. Share my screen. Second camera. Wrong one. Switch camera. There we go. You can tell that I've hit my head on it a couple of times. Let's see if we can. One minute. That one is this one, I think. Let me shut the camera off and see if I can fix it. Yes, much better. All right. Now let's try. Thank you for your patience. Wrong one again. Hi, there's two of me. Nope. Haha, got it. Okay. From Canada. Woohoo! Hi, lots of new people. Thank you guys for commenting. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. We're going to play with this, and I'm going to show you how I store my stuff. I am trying to like those, but I like being able to lay that on the paper and see what's missing. So first thing I do is I pop this guy off, lay him over there so I don't lose him. I find my Secret C ink. And I have a piece of paper that is, that's cardstock, just basic white cardstock. It is 5.5 by 8.5. This is messy. It is not my most favorite thing to do, but I like the results, so I shall do it. You know what I think I'm going to do? Hold a moment. Move these guys. Side down. Add some wall safe tape. We're going to see if this works. I haven't tried it before, but we're going to see if it works. You all, I know that some of you have followed me for a little bit, and I've told you that we have been in the process of remodeling this house for a long, long time. We are finally to the stage of remodeling our bathroom, and that did not hold. And that still didn't hold. We took out a bath shower combo, and we're putting in just a big walk-in shower in our master bathroom. And we are loving it. We decided to pour epoxy for the walls. So I've been watching lots of videos on how to do that. And that's what we're doing. We have 2 of those walls done. They are on the walls. I'm not sure that that's going to work, but we're going to try. All right. It doesn't have to be in any particular spot. Yep, that's not going to work. Maybe it'll hold it on long enough. Oh, and then I put it right on a magnet. Okay. Live and learn. Don't do what I just did. The requirements to be a demonstrator is you just buy the kit, and every quarter you meet your minimums. And that's not like this is supposed to work, because these steps will stick on there. So let's play with it like it's supposed to be played with. That'll work for the purposes I need it to work for. All right, peel these guys off. So you just meet your monthly, or not monthly, your quarterly minimum, which is $300 every 3 months. So I love the way the new rewards program is, because you could budget $100 a month and do it just fine, or you could get yourself and your girlfriends together once a month and everybody place an order together to help you meet your minimums. If you have any other questions later, you feel free to reach out. I will be happy to answer questions. And if you're local, I don't know where you're from, I would suggest find somebody that you've stamped with before, or that you know, because everybody does their teams a little bit different. So find somebody you're comfortable with, and we'll leave it at that. Or the person that you've shopped with the most recent, or the most, those kinds of things, because I feel like that just helps solidify and build friendships. That's what I love about the Stampin' Up! Community, is the friendships that are created. Oh, you're in Powell. Hey, I am between Powell and Carnes on West Emory. All right, so let's make a couple of cards. I brought some pretty cardstock over because I love these horses. I grew up with Tennessee Walkers. So let's start cutting, and those don't look like Tennessee Walkers, but they're horses, and I love everything about that. And we can pretend. All right, so our card base is going to be, I have a chair here as an extra table. Early espresso. And be happy to meet for lunch or for a coffee, and just share that with you. 4 1/4. And we're going to score it. So this, I know, is my cutting blade. I don't want to cut, so I'm going to do what my friend Julie Salva says, and I'm going to park the dark right up there out of my way. This is at 4 1/4. I'm going to score that. I run it a couple of times to give it a good crease, and then I'm going to cut it at 5 1/2. I always do it towards the top, because that keeps my cardstock up there flush. Cut, and now I have 2 card bases. All right, and let's just do the same thing with, let's just do another one. We're going to make 4 cards tonight. So my dark one is parked. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. And again, that special, you get you pay $99, and you get to pick $125 worth of stuff. And new stuff is coming out tomorrow. All kinds of fun. We have team meetings. We have team retreats. All right. Now this piece is, yes, I need my 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to make that be, ooh, for that piece. Oh, this is going to be so pretty. Pecan pie. And I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. I got ink on my finger. I try to do 2 in-person classes a month at my house. I do 2 different kinds of classes at the John T. O'Connor Center every month, the first and the third. Typically, those can change a little bit. Isn't that pretty? Piece is a little, got its corner caught. All right, I know what I'm doing with this. Oh, I can't wait. All right, let me cut. Do I need to? Let me see. I brought my scrap of, nope, let's see, of early espresso over here. I just want to make sure that that will go through the paper trimmer fine. I'm using the stylish shapes. Nope, nope. These are stylish shapes. Those are Spotlight on Nature. And I want that circle. Yep. This guy's out of the way. Can use a smaller piece, I think. Try to go to my scraps first so that I'm not, I know that I will want, I'm not cutting a big sheet to get one little thing. Oh, and that one is not quite big enough, so we are going to cut it. That circle is about 3 inches. And I know I want a piece of, yep. I'm going to use these banner dies to put our sentiment on. We might just make 2 cards tonight, and I'll save the others for later. Let's see. That's a little big. Let's go with this baby one right here. Perfect. And let's grab a piece of pecan pie. Scrap. Oh, perfect one right here. Perfect. Love it when a plan works out. All right, so lay these guys to the side. I will wipe those off with my chamois before I put them in the envelope and their little piece back on them. All right, here is the platform for my cutting blade. So we're going to put this on here. You don't have to, because there's nothing. I just want to make sure that it stays on the cardstock so that when I pick it up and move it, it doesn't wiggle around too much. That is just barely going to fit. All right. But you know what? I'm using it, and that's a great time to use that. Sandwich them together. You could use your mini for this. But I've got the big one over here, so we'll just roll it through. Carol, you can find me on here on, I think maybe you can send messages on YouTube. I don't know for sure, but I know that you can find me on Facebook under Brenda Sellers, or my business page as well. Brenda Sellers, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'll be happy to answer questions. You do not have to demonstrate. You don't have to do videos like this. You don't have to. That piece is dark. That's not what I wanted for that. I wanted, okay. Get your head in the game. I wanted one of the prettier ones. Let's go with this one. And that is, we're going to cut it 3.5. I will use that circle. Don't fear. You don't have to have classes. You don't have to. Most people that are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator are their own best customers. Because it's just the way the game goes. All right, I know I need that. And I want a piece of Very Vanilla. All right. One moment. My friend in New Zealand would say, hold the phone. She said that in a video she did earlier this week or this weekend with us. And it's like, oh my, that is so funny. We're not used to that anymore. All right, I want one of these circles to go inside that circle. That one's too big. Will it show? It might. We're going to try it, but we're also going to try the next one down. We'll just cut 2 at a time. All right. Yep, cut it. That is about 3 inches. We're going to cut it at 4, just in case I messed up. Actually, no, let's do this. 3.5. You are probably not going to be able to fit on there. 3. Okay, there. See if we can get them all on there and cut them all through at one time. Kevin's party was great. I hope he is still celebrating. Come on, go through there. All right, if you guys want to be cantankerous, we're going to take one of you off and we'll just do it so we can get it done. I'm going to hide that. That'll be fine. So, almost hit the camera with my head again. That's what happens when you stand up. We might only get 2 made tonight. I'll save the rest for later, but these are going to be so pretty. Love this stamp set. The dies right there. Okay, let's stamp. What do I need that one for? I don't know. Yes, it fits. All right, we are going to start stamping. So we're going to stamp this guy. My fingers are going to get a little bit inky because I haven't had a chance to clean them off. Colored bases there. All right, and that's not the color I want, so we're gonna close that up, put it away. Imagine that. I'll be able to find it next time, right? All right, let's turn. Nope, I need that. I'm gonna stamp that right there. And then I'm gonna stamp it on this block or circle. That head is perfect for that. My friend Kevin, or our friend Kevin, Kevin has a lot of friends. He celebrated his 30th Stampin' Up! Anniversary this weekend with a huge virtual card retreat. I'm making a mask, guys. I'm making a mask. That side doesn't have to be perfect because it's over here anyway. Nor the ears. Stampin' Up! Does sell masking paper, but these Post-it notes were laying on my desk, and that's what we're going to use. So when you stamp it, you want to make sure that you're stamping where there's sticky still on it somewhere to be able to hold it on your paper. So we're going to put that image right over top of that. Teaching you a new technique tonight. And then we're going to get the barn. It's right here. And I'm going to, because those have ink on them. All right. And stamp the barn right here. Kevin would say that you would need to say Kevin is wonderful 3 times, but I like to tell people that you need to say your own name, because sometimes I think we just need that little bit of reinforcement. While we've got the early espresso open, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. It is this one. Thanks for being a true friend. That block. Inked up good. There's our sentiment. That shows perfect in that. Let's put that up there. Now I'm going to get the pretty pecan pie. And let's stamp some trees. Let me lay that right there. And this is the trees. How long is that fence? Let's stamp the barn again. We're going to make another little mask. That's where the sticky's at. All of these ideas come through while you're playing, right? That doesn't have to be perfect. The Stampin' Up! Masking paper is sticky a lot instead of just the one little strip like the Post-it notes. Like a larger area. That's what I'm trying to say. Not a lot. I mean, it is a lot, but it's a larger area. All right, let's put that right on the barn. And there's there's our trees. Here's our fence. Let's do our fence first. Let's stamp it with, what color should the fence be? Let's do it stamped off once. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it will. How we like that. Okay. And I know that this doesn't have sticky on the back, but I'll just lay it there and be very careful. That trees, pecan pie. Nice. All right, and one more. Like that. Okay. Now let's take our mask off. Isn't that pretty? Let's add a little bit of green. What shade? Let's get some light old olive. Add some green. This has got me thinking of spring. I am so ready for this weather to be done. Look at all that fun happening up there. Thank you for following along tonight. Feel free to like and subscribe and share with your friends. All right, let's get some pecan pie. Horse. My alcohol markers, I like to just turn them on their side so that and do like little brush strokes. And you don't have to get every little space. Sometimes that will go ahead and bleed over into each other. And this down here looks kind of whimsical, so let's bigger strokes so it goes into each other. All right, and then I'm going to do the barn in Cajun Craze. And I think I'm going to go black, or the darker color of it. Oh, that tip is not good. We need to put this set of blends on our list to replace. Yeah, that's dry. I'm going to lay that one to the side. Let's see if I can get a little bit of color out of this end. Nope, that one needs to be replaced. There we go. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now let's layer it on this. Adhesive is right here. And I know I'm going to put my sentiment covering up that little spot right there that didn't get. All right. Not you. With you. I'll start out with a nice wide space to start working in, and then it just kind of goes shunk. And that one's out. I'll put a piece of basic white on the inside. Oh, layer, layer, layer. Now this piece. And now this piece, let's get it on dimensionals. Please be big dimensionals. You are not. Hang on, they're right here. They're right handy. All right. Some people can use the end of their take your pick tool. That's off. Like that. And have lots of success. Mine, like you just saw, well, you didn't. It was hidden. They can use it just like that and flick them off, and they stay on the end of their take your pick tool. Mine do not. You all, that's so pretty. All right, dimensionals. But I know it's going to overlap right there, so I'm going to only put like one on each side down here. And I'm going to use some twine. Put a piece, some adhesive on the back of this guy. Start, oh, get it up there in the camera. Let's make them be bigger. I I'm not doing well. Hang on. All right, let's do loop-de-loos. Okay, showing your little tail. Loop. There's not enough for that. I promise my next video will be a little more organized. This one is. Let's just put it on. It would help if you take the backs off of your dimensionals. And trim that. And some of these pretty faux bronze pentagons. Let's put a couple of those on there. Because I have my hubby's computer on the desk, it's a little bigger than the other one. So had to move the caddy that had all of my tools in it on there. So I've been sliding over there to get them. What do you think? Do you like that card? Now you're going to have to order this set. Give you some idea. Careful, your new set. Yes, there's one more I really want to show you. We have time, and so we're just going to do 2 cards tonight. I love that set. So you got to see an idea for masking. So this other one, we're gonna use this piece of designer series paper. Just slide some of this stuff out of my way. And we are going to stamp on that. We're going to use that circle. See, that's why I like having them different. All right, here is a picture of all of our stamps. Okay, we're going to stamp from the heart. That's this little guy. And we're going to, that's too big. We're just going to keep the same horse head. And I want the horseshoes. Okay, lay those up there out of the way. You can go up there too out of the way. Yes, I talked to my supplies. I need my Country Woods. Right, here is our card base. You don't need the paper trimmer. So it can go back where it belongs. I've got a whole bunch of little pieces of Country Woods designer series paper strips. I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to use the lighter. Let's see if I've got a smaller one. I do. Yay. Okay, so let's stamp first. Actually, this guy needs to be cut. This is 3 3/4. Crossing, are you where you're supposed to be? Oops, I need the other accoutrements that go with that. Hang on a second. I keep my embossing buddy in the same kind of tray that I keep my embossing powder in. All right. Looks like that had some gold in it from around Christmas time. Just make the white sparkly, won't it? Okay. Now, let's play. We are going to stamp the horse head in Early Espresso. Oh, that new stamp positioner tool, I love it, you guys, because you can go straight down with it instead of I'll use it when I do the sentiment. You can go straight down. It doesn't fold over, and I love that it's straight down. Let's put these guys back up here out of my way. Throwing things and making noise, sorry. All right, horse head is done. I know that it's going to go about right there. And grab a little block and stamp some horseshoes. I need that Early Espresso back out. We're going to stamp directly on our designer series paper. Don't have a heart attack on me. I know, because if you get it wrong, you can't flip it over. I mean, you can. You got a different color on the other side, but I want a horseshoe right there, and right there, and right there. And then I want one here, and here, and here. Isn't that cool? Ha! I love horseshoes. I love Western. I just love Western. Okay, and now for our sentiment, let me move this guy out of the way, get our stamp positioner. Like, I need more desk space. If you guys could see me right now, you'd probably giggle. You might not, but then again, you might. All right, we're going to stamp on this and we're going to emboss. So I know that I'm putting it at the 2 line on the grid paper and putting that down. Then I'm going to put that from the heart right there. We're going to go ahead and stamp that first, and then I'll pop it off and stamp my. So it goes on these little pegs. And then I'm going to push it down. It picks up the paper or the stamp. Put my paper back. I had it on the 2 line. My Versamark. It was over here. Where did I set it? It wasn't over there. I sat it down. Okay, so now we're going to ink up this sentiment with Versamark. I'm just tapping. And I forgot to use my embossing buddy. Because that will take the static off of that. Some people put a clip on it to keep the powder off their hands. Versamark. On the top pegs, on the bottom pegs. The stamp is not touching the paper yet. Ready? 1, 2, 3, down. And it's touching. It doesn't rock. I mean, it does a little bit because it's a sentiment, but it's totally fine. Lift that up. Now, if I needed to put that on there again, I could. I kind of know where that's at. So I'm going to stamp that off, get him cleaned off a little bit. Corner of my Versamark. Can't see it, guys. Now I can. Over here, lid. Lid. Tweezers are right here. Get both of those horseshoes. Oh, perfect. Oh, yep. Now it's perfect. What caused me to fall in love with stamping was heat embossing, which I'm getting ready to show you. I will tell you that anywhere it is on your paper, these are reverse tweezers, and I just had to remember that. All right, because I'm going to use the heat tool, I'm going to cover that up, or we'll have Versum or heat embossing powder everywhere. All right, plug this in. Hope if you get those aligned correctly. All right, are we ready to watch the magic? See how powdery it looks? Watch. Hopefully that's not too loud in the camera. All right. Ooh, it's turning. Perfect. All right, don't touch that while it's still warm. Otherwise, it will smear. So I'm going to set it over here out of the way for a second. Heat embossing is one of my most favorite things on earth. All right, I'm going to move my stamp positioner tool out of my way. While that's doing its thing, since I used the layer that I needed to use on the other card, let's cut us one out of the other piece of pecan pie. Holy snipes, guys, if you could see this mess beside me, you would say, straighten up your space. I will. It'll be better soon. All right, we know that's already cut at 5 1/4. So let's cut it at 4. You could emboss on that strip too. You could. This can go to, that would be a pretty side to stamp on. If you have that Country Woods Designer Series paper, have fun with this horse stamp set. Unbridled Beauty is the name of it. All right, let's add some adhesive. I also do coffee and cards twice a month. Look on my Facebook page at my calendar. You'll see when the next one is. I do one at Velocity and on Clinton Highway, and one at Coffee and Chocolate in that shopping center. by Carm. So if you want to meet there one day, that'd be great. Get your little shopping list ready. For anybody who places a $50 order between now and Monday next week, I will send you the materials to make these cards. I'll cut out the circles and the little banner die and the paper for you, but I can't send you the stamp sets. All right, our sentiment is ready for us to play with it. Let's put some, we're going to put it right here. So I know it needs a dimensional on each end. There and there. Doesn't need one. Let's do a little thin one. Right here. So we don't have any saggy bits. Nobody likes saggy bottoms. And then line that up with the edges of your designer series paper. And let's use some more of these. They just look like nail heads to me. My other take your pick tool. Here we go. Put one there. Really doesn't need them, but I like them. There we go. Then you could dress up the inside with pieces of leftover designer series paper if you wanted to. Aren't those pretty? So many different uses for that stamp set. You're going to see this again. I will probably have it as part of, I may do more, I'm trying to see comments. Hang on. And there they are. The Country Woods stamps. Yes. Country Woods designer series paper. Stamp right on your paper. Stamp on clear solid cardstock. Heat emboss. Aren't those pretty? You guys, those two are going to be hard to give away. But I will share. All right. Let me stop my screen share. Find the mouse. How do you like that? For everyone that orders $50 or more before Monday or by Monday, I'll send you enough cardstock to make 2 of each one. I can't send you the stamped picture or image, but I can send you the card stock, or we can meet and do it, whatever you want to do. All right, have a great night, and I will see you again soon. Definitely next week on Monday, closer to 7:30. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions about Stampin' Up or whatever. If you just want to sit and talk and just need somebody to listen, I'm here. All right, have a great night, and I'll see you again soon. Do something fun for yourself. Bye.